Oh, I have to look it up on my phone. Good evening, everyone. I just want to check I've gone live in the right place, actually. I had a sudden horrible feeling there that I'd gone live in the Elite Sellers Academy. I don't think I have. I think it's Secret Wealth Project and the Nevermind the Buy Box YouTube channel. Yes, it is. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nevermind the Buy Box. Yes, we are. We're going live on there. Tonight, I'm joined by Matt Baker.
Hi.
Hi, welcome, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just going to wait for a few people to jump on. And because we were chatting away beforehand, I forgot that I need to log in to be able to see who's joining us and logging in to view this evening. But I can see some people are jumping on. So please give us a hello in the comments if you can hear us okay. God, I always forget to do that. Let's turn it down. So that's fine. Yes, we are live in the right place. So Sean says, boom. Sue says, yes, you are okay. Yeah, that's cool. Just want to check everything's okay and all working. So just wait for a few more people to jump on. Evening, Paul. So can everyone see and hear us okay? Hopefully they can. Hello, Sarah. Hello. I don't know, the comments are really delayed tonight for some reason. I can't see why. Hi, Carolyn. Oh, quite a few people. Hi, Jamie. It's his first time, so looking forward to it. So what a good one to join us on tonight, Jamie, because there's going to be some gold nuggets and knowledge bombs and everything like that absolutely drop tonight, I'm sure. So loads of people are jumping on now. How are you, Matt?
I'm good. Yeah, very busy at the moment.
Yes. Well, we'll definitely get into that as we talk more through about your Amazon journey and how you came to be selling on Amazon and everything around Amazon and, you know, what you're doing at the moment. Predominantly, we obviously got you on tonight was initially to talk everyone through pan-European sales. That kind of went wrong a little bit, to be perfectly honest, because obviously just a couple of weeks ago, Amazon made some big announcements, which we'll come on and talk about a little bit in the moment. But I still wanted, if it's all right with everyone, Matt, to go through the process of pan-European, because as it stands, unless somebody can tell me otherwise, yeah, I thought Sean said it's a very long delay tonight, like 30 seconds, I think. And I don't know why, actually. So, yeah, sorry, Matt, this might get a little bit confusing because we're quite a way behind on the delay for some reason. Normally it's about 10 seconds. But it seems to be that everyone's, about 30 seconds away. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know if StreamYard's a bit laggy or something tonight. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, that's why I wanted to get Matt on tonight. So we could talk obviously about his business and talk about everything to do with that. But also, as it stands, even with the Amazon announcements a couple of weeks ago, pan-European is still going to be the only way that anyone's going to be able to sell through Europe. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Next month, they're going to be cutting off the shipments between Amazon Fulfillment UK and the rest of Europe, which means we're going to have to start shipping our products directly into Europe to carry on getting the sales. So it's going to have an impact on our margins, so we're probably going to have to try and look at increasing the prices to cover the extra shipping costs into Europe.
Absolutely, but I think obviously with there being so many sellers pulling out of Europe, I would imagine that there's going to be a natural increase in margins and prices anyway.
Yeah, I think even in the last year, we managed to get a German VAT number before they pulled a lot of sellers from selling in Germany, so we noticed straight away a big uplift in their sales in Germany because there was less competition.
It'd be really interesting, you know, and hopefully beyond tonight, you might come on and join us again, maybe in the new year or something, to let us know, to tell us what the impact and the difference has been with so many sellers in pulling out of Europe, because I think absolutely it's, you know, it's just going to have a massive impact for those that, one, are able to, or who go through the process. And like I said, we'll come on and talk about that in a minute. I just want to say hello to people that have joined us. And by the way, Matt is not only just a European seller, he's also a UK seller, and a 7-figure seller at that as well. So if you've got any general questions about selling on Amazon, even with regards to European sales or anything like that, please do let us know, and put your comments in the box. If you can also give me a few loves and likes and everything like that, just to push out the notification, because I think it's so delayed tonight for some reason. I can't work out if how quickly the questions and the comments are coming in. So, Carolyn says, battling to hear Matt. Matt, can you get closer to the mic by any chance?
Ready to go? Yeah.
Just shout at me. Just shout. It's fine. So Indra says, good evening. Evening, Indra. Evening, Fran. Evening. Sean says, 7 figures. How many staff does he have? Well, this is going to blow your mind, Sean, when we talk about how Matt got to 7 figures and how he managed to do that. So, well, let's get started. We might as well, actually. I mean, do you want to let them know how many staff you've got at the moment?
At the moment, we've got 1 VA in the Philippines. I've got 2 members of full-time staff working with me here, and 2 part-time staff. But that's only recently. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it straight away, because this actually kind of blows my mind. When I said it to you earlier and we were talking about it, is that this year you achieved 7-figure seller status, but you actually achieved it whilst you were still working for someone else. So you achieved that part-time.
Part-time, yeah.
Yeah, which I was like, when Matt said that earlier, I was a little bit like, wow, because I think I'm on record somewhere saying I didn't think that was like possible in that respect. And also, hopefully it's motivation to anyone that's watching tonight that what can be achieved with a business, which we're going to go and find out a little bit more about, obviously. But 7 figures, selling on Amazon, selling on eBay, because you sell through a few different...
Amazon dominantly, but we do have sales on eBay as well. Initially, that's where the selling journey started, on eBay. And I think it was a few years ago, it was like, Amazon. If we list their stuff on Amazon, that might top up what we're earning on eBay. And it's really just, Amazon's blown eBay out the water now. So.
Well, it's funny because we had the kind of opposite with Matthew a couple of weeks ago, in the sense that Matthew kind of added eBay to his business. So he did it the other way around, and that's what kind of took him up, beyond the set. I think he was 7 figures before that anyway, but obviously that added to it.
I do think we're just so concentrated on Amazon that I didn't pay any wasn't giving any attention to eBay. So now's the time to give eBay a bit more attention again. Absolutely.
I think Matthew highlighted that to a lot of people, to be honest. So we've got someone called Jodie that's joined us tonight that said, hi, babe. I'm assuming, is that your wife?
Yeah.
I didn't think she was talking to me. Hi, Jodie. Good evening. Right. Okay. So Sean says he wants to be the next Matt. LOL. Absolutely. Corin says, this is excellent, part-time. I just think it's such inspiration to be able to let everyone know that it's absolutely achievable to be able to do this sort of thing whilst you're still holding down. And from what you said, hopefully if I don't overstep the mark, which was a very well-paid job, and presumably well-paid, come with working a lot of hours as well.
Well, working full-time there and loads of hours in there. Jodie's my poor suffering wife. I was lots of evenings away and just working a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So take us right back to the beginning then, before we go on and talk about Europe. So you started selling on, I think you said Amazon 5 years ago, but obviously you were selling on eBay.
Probably eBay 3 or 4 years as well. Before that. So predominantly we were selling wholesale products on eBay. Then got into private label by accident. I didn't know it was called private label then, but I knew we were buying products from wholesalers, and we were competing. We were competing with other sellers to sell these products. So I was like, where can we buy these products ourselves and get a better margin? So I've looked up some trade shows, went to Europe, found the suppliers, and then started getting the products made for ourselves. But we didn't have any FBA, like, we didn't have any software to tell us what was trending. So we had loads of fails to start with. We bought loads of rubbish that didn't sell as well. Mm.
So what was the difference then? Because obviously you had, by your own admission, bought a load of stuff, didn't have any software, didn't know what worked, didn't know what was that turning point then? What was it, a single product, or was it combination of products? Where was that turning point
So
for
a
you?
combination, some of the private label products we came out with to start with did work. So then we would carry on with those, and then we would drop the ones that weren't working, and then we just kept trying new ones and kept bringing them out. So our supplier did a big range of products, and we just kept adding to them all in one niche. So
Ah,
then,
right.
but we also love a bargain, so we go to auctions, we buy bankrupt stock, um, all different products as well. A lot of wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we? We were talking about, and I've had this conversation. It's like Groundhog Day, deja vu, whatever you want to call it. I've had this conversation with multiple really successful sellers now, in the sense that you guys, you all love a bargain, regardless of where it comes from. You were saying, just, was it last night before, something like that? You had your trolley filled up in one of the supermarkets.
Yeah,
You can't,
can't help it.
yeah. It is addictive. It's absolutely addictive, this business. And I think that if you've got it and you just know what sells, then if you just enjoy selling, it doesn't matter what you sell, essentially, as long as it does sell, of course. So when you kind of accidentally discovered private labels, so when you made those first kind of gains, and you were constantly adding to your business, were you working out of home at that point, or did you have like
Um,
or
we
something?
we were working out of home. We had a flat in Hitchin, and Jodie said, "This is too much stuff in the flat now. Like I can't see you across the living room anymore. There's too many boxes." so
Proper
so
down.
we rented a unit, moved all the stock into the unit, and then we worked out there for a while. Then I think what happened, then we went bankrupt with that one. That went bust. We started again. Then we moved down to Hampshire, down to New Milton, and we got a property there that had a garage and a workshop in the garden. So we were doing it from home, and then I moved all the stock down to Sussex. Had mum and dad helping on the business, because I would say I was part time, but I got them to help part time as well. And that's how we went about to start it.
So what's the kind of, you've obviously already said it's private label, it's wholesale, bankrupt stock. Tell us what you do and what you don't do, obviously without being specific. Sorry, guys. Matt's
Yeah.
not going to go into that much detail. If you could give us
So
a bit of breakdown of the percentages within your business, that would be good.
I'd say private labels 60%,
Right.
wholesale 30%, and retail arbitrage probably 10%.
Okay, and that's and what's the kind of spread above the selling platforms? Is it predominantly Amazon now?
95% Amazon.
Wow. Okay, so it
But
is.
yeah, I want to try and change that over the next 12 months, so we're not as reliant on Amazon. We
Yeah.
push our own website and social media more, so we're not as reliant on Amazon.
Yeah, I think so. Do you know what? I think with most of us, and that's what we're certainly going to be talking about in this group over the next 12 months, is encouraging people to diverse as many, not diversing different selling plans or anything like that whatsoever, but taking what they've already got and, spreading that across different platforms, because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Not to put all of that kind of all of your Amazon eggs in one basket, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I think that's super important. So a few more people have joined us. So evening all. Sean says, do you know Nick Hills from Hitchin by any chance?
No.
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 Oh, bless him. Right, okay. What Hayden percentages, what does he do of each? sorry, 60
Probably
Amazon.
60% are
Oh,
what in between the platforms.
yeah, no, sorry.
Uh,
Yeah, sorry, you say.
yeah, probably 95% Amazon, and 5% eBay, and a tiny bit on the website at the moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I
but
dropped sorry.
yeah, and just a very tiny percent on the website at the moment, which we're looking to improve on.
And 60% private label, 30% wholesale, 10% retail
All
arbitrage.
right, yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So then obviously you started seeing some gains. You started seeing, okay, this is gonna kind of work for us. When was the point? You're still working full time, because obviously by your own admission, that was, just a few months ago you left your
Yeah,
job. Just
just a few months ago.
So what was
Last year, we borrowed some money so we could go heavy in the stock, so we
yeah.
could actually, grow the business. So yeah, took a loan out last year so we could just really go in on like 2 or 3 new private label products that had really good sales velocity. So that's what we did.
Wow.
Last
So it was presumably you were struggling with cash flow, or you couldn't get the stock in quick enough, so you weren't getting that velocity.
Yeah, that was it. So I thought, I know these products sell in good numbers. Let's just get them made. And fortunately, the last three private label products have really flown.
Yeah. And do your private label products, do you stick to the same niche? Or
Currently, yeah,
yeah.
all in the same niche at the moment, but we're
Um,
looking new ones out soon.
and do you think that moving forward in your business that you will expand into other areas other than private label and wholesale? Do you think you'll start looking down the arbitrage route a little bit more, or is that kind of been there, done that, kind of moved on?
No, I think we always do arbitrage. I just like finding the deal. So
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like everyone I talk to, regardless, I've got to be honest, regardless of the size of seller, regardless of the volume that particular seller is doing, everyone that's watching tonight, but yeah, everyone I think just loves a bargain at the end of the day, don't they?
yeah,
And that thrill of buying something low and selling it for more profit, or selling it high and selling it for profit, I think just absolutely appeals to everyone, to be honest. I don't know who Nick Hills is. Oh, that's Jodie that's saying that. Sorry, I don't know. Am I missing something here? Is there someone here that I kind of don't know anything about?
he's a big eBay. Well, he's not a big. He's a eBay reseller with a YouTube channel with a lot of followers, and he lives in.
Ah, oh, and he lives in Hitchin. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know that. I'll have to look him up. I genuinely didn't know who he was. Yeah, it's only because I watched the Secret World Project and that's it. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Right, let's have a quick look at just a few questions before we move on. So, Nick A says, can you give us some tips about scaling your business apart from employing more staff? Well, actually, obviously, you scaled your business when you had less staff.
yeah, but a lot of the time it was relying on Amazon FBA. Like during the first part of lockdown, we'd be having like 12, 1,300 orders a day, and you just can't deal with that on your own.
And that was via FBA or merchant fulfilled?
Mainly FBA, yeah,
Oh, thank God for that.
yeah. But
So,
then as the restrictions were coming in, like we were dealing with more and more merchant orders, so
I
as
think
much as FBA as possible.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think I remember seeing one of your not screenshots of figures, but I think you might have put a screenshot up of how many open
Pending,
FBA.
yeah. Like one day we had like 900 pending orders, like for merchant.
Yeah, and I was just sort of like, because we've just gone into merchant fulfilled ourselves. It was going really, really well. Actually, we were talking about this earlier, so it'd be good to hear from anyone in the comments, actually, because there's a few products at the moment which are massively winning the buy box from an FBM point of view. So let me know your thoughts on this, guys, whether or not it's working that way for you. Because we were talking about this earlier, weren't we? About you seem to really do feel the buy box is being favoured by FBM at the moment.
Well, literally, some arbitrage that I bought a couple of days ago listed it straight onto Amazon, and we were getting the buy box over the FBA listings. So it looks like they're going to be doing that again, like we did during lockdown.
Yeah, I think we had a taste of it last Q4 as well, where people were kind of being favoured for the MS side of thing. I mean, I definitely don't recommend, especially if you're a relatively new seller. We've seen lots of instances of people underestimating the power of Amazon and how quickly things can sell, and not having the right stock or the right levels of stock, and you can it's a way, if you're not an experienced seller, to get yourself suspended pretty quickly. You can't keep on top of it.
It's when you've got lots of products, you need a system in place to manage that stock, the ordering, the dispatching. Otherwise, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, so let's talk about that as well, because obviously you've scaled to 7 figures this year. You've hired some extra staff. You've moved into a new warehouse as well. So I've got to let everyone know that as well. So you moved into a warehouse a month or so ago, something like that?
Last month, yeah.
Yeah. And
we're half in the old units and still in the new one. So yeah, we've still got racking going up, still got boxes to move over, but everything that's selling every day is over in the new unit now. But then we've still got pallets coming in every day, and you're trying to deal with that, paint the floor, put the new racking up at the same time. So we've only got a couple of weeks till we've got to be out the old unit, so it will be done.
Yeah. Good time to click to do it in Q4, Matt.
Yeah.
No, I know. You've just got to do it whenever you can, because there's never a good time, especially if you're a 7-figure seller. There's never really going to be a good time to do it, is there?
It's a big upheaval, but we wanted to move into somewhere that would give us the space just to have all the inventory laid out, all in racking, all in picking bins, just so it's easy to locate the stock when you're ready to send it.
Absolutely. So tell us about your system then. So obviously you do a bit of merchant fulfilled now, but you're predominantly FBA. Is that right?
Yeah, predominantly, yeah.
But I think you said, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we were talking earlier, you said that now that you've found a system that suits you, you're quite happy to look at MF a little bit more.
Definitely, yeah. Now we've got a system that allows us to dispatch on scale every day. I'm quite happy to take it on again now. Yeah, we can print hundreds of orders and labels in minutes now on the new system, whereas before I was manually sorting invoices into packaging sizes, manually inputting sizes and weights into click and drop. It's just taking ages. So what was taking hours is now taking minutes with the software. It's taken a long time to get it set up properly, but it's really making a big difference now.
And are you happy to share with us which software you're using? So I know a lot of people really struggle to find a good multi-channel fulfillment software.
So we're using Store Feeder. It's a Royal Mail company. It's been a bit of a pain to set up, and it is quite complex. You've got your warehousing, you've got your shipping, listings, weights and measures, deliveries. Like, it covers your whole business really, but you need everything in there correct. Otherwise, you have to set rules up for shipping. So if it's not right, it won't run properly. So we've had a lot of teething problems, but it's now seems to be working well. So.
And had you tried other ones?
I've not tried other ones, but I found another e-commerce company locally, and they'd scaled to 7 figures. And so I went around and saw them, and I said, "What are you using?" So they showed me what they were using, and I thought, that's what I'm going to use.
That's a classic entrepreneur mirroring move, to find out exactly what someone else is doing that's either doing the same or more than you, and just go with what they're doing and what's working with them. When you set up the system, you said it was a little bit of a pain in the bum to set it up. Did you have like an account manager? Did Royal Mail help you out? Did you
They do have, you have like an onboarding person that can help you, but there's no video tutorials. There's lots of step-by-step guides. It's just rubbish.
So you loved the system, but you didn't enjoy the setup of it.
Yeah, I love the system, but the onboarding I found quite hard.
Yeah, see, that's funny because I've heard from different people that it's the other way around with those and stuff, like something like ShipStation or the other one I can't remember what it's called, where they're
But
really
it's the,
easy to set up, but they seem to like fall apart as soon as you try and do something robust with them, if that makes sense.
yeah, but the support team, every time you phone them up, they're fantastic and they talk you through it. But I
Yeah.
think they could cut their costs by having better tutorials, so you don't need to phone the support team every 5 minutes. So,
Absolutely. Don't know. Maybe Amazon should take that approach with
oh,
some. Well, I was just going to ask one more thing about the software, which was I can't remember what I was going to ask now. But did you have a raw? Oh no, I know what I was going to ask. Do you do seller fulfilled Prime as well? Or was it just FBM and FBA?
just FBM and FBA at the moment.
Okay, going to try seller fulfilled.
I think we will. Now we've got fully tracked raw mail service now, so yeah, I
Mhm.
think we can probably go along with that. Give it a try.
I'm just wondering, actually, anyone that's watching tonight, maybe offer a few comments or something like that. Actually, is we do FBA, FBM, so I can only offer experience, like yourself on that. But wonder someone if they're watching doing all three. I do wonder if SPF, SFP, sorry, gets the box above all of them, because if you would think about it, they're Prime, so it's quick delivery, and you're not clogging up the Amazon distribution centers or anything like that. So I wonder if that wins above everything. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
I'm not sure, but sometimes inventory levels as well have an impact on getting the buy box. Because I know
I do.
some wholesale products, when I've ordered big quantity in, just because I'm holding that big quantity, we've definitely seen an increase in the
Yeah,
buy box because we've had big numbers of stock.
yeah,
Amazon see that as more reliable.
and I don't know if you agree with this from a private label point of view, but also we've seen this recently with the stock holdings for some of our version of private label products, where we've been piling the stock in for Q4, and the more stock we've been sending, because we don't have the 200 we don't have 200 limits, we have a lot higher limits for these particular listings. The more stock we've been sending in, the more sales we've been getting, which we wouldn't normally expect to be getting. So it's like Amazon knows, it's saying, right, they've got the stock, so therefore we're going to push their, BSR down essentially, and make their products more visible. So I totally agree with that. I do think it's going to be moving forward. That's going to be quite an important element to ranking a product. But at the same time, it's not particularly great for arbitrage sellers who get penalized for holding high levels of stock. So there's going to be like a bit of a balance somewhere.
We've been sending in high levels of stock lately, but I've got it priced high at the moment. So we've got to try and find a balance between storage fees and a high selling price. So we're
Mm-hmm.
hoping, like, yeah, people are going to start running out soon. And it's happened in previous years, just priced high and left it high. And then the last few weeks of Q4, that's when we've really had massive sales. We did last year, and hopefully we repeat it this year.
Yeah, fingers crossed. How have your sales been this Q4 so far? How
I'd say I think we're 25% up on the same time last year, but most of our private label products are out of stock at the moment. So, um,
Yeah, we did. You told me that earlier, just before we came
yeah,
on. I was like, right, hold that thought. So you bought, just to, obviously put this into context for people, how quickly Matt's products have been selling. You bought what you thought was 6 months worth of stock that sold out in 6 weeks.
one of our private label products we sold 2,000 units in 6 weeks.
And normally that would cover you for 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, but that was a brand new. Like there was just a variation of one of our other products, but it was 2,000 units in 6 weeks.
Wow. And obviously you didn't expect it because you thought it was going to last you 6 months, and you thought that
Yeah,
was going to last 6 months even through Q4 as well. Is it
uh,
seasonal?
it was seasonal, so yeah, I would have expected it just to last the summer months anyway. But yeah, now we're waiting for it to come in again. It's probably going to be next March now until it comes back.
No. Oh,
Yeah,
right. Okay, so it's seasonal. It's only a summer product. You can't.
does sell all year round, but you're probably 10 times the sales during the summer months as what it is in the winter months.
So what you feel that the investment would be better put elsewhere in faster movers that are going to sell over the next 6 months?
From the manufacturers, we've got a slow production time. It's a big, like, when we order it from them, we're not just ordering the one product, we're ordering multiple um, products. And like they're giving us 6 months production time, and then we've got 2 months probably on the water to allow for any delays on the container coming in. And then, so it's literally from ordering it to landing in the air warehouse 7 months. So, and it's a big drain on the cash flow then, because you've got a whole container coming in, and then it's in, then the cash is coming in again.
Yeah, absolutely. And um, do you have to pay like 100% once it's on the container?
So we pay 30% down when we make the order, and then 70% when they're ready to ship. And then when it lands, we've got the VAT and the landing costs as well. So yeah,
And
it's big outlays.
how long does it take for shipping container to come via sea?
China, it's probably five weeks normally.
5 weeks. Right. Okay.
Then
Yeah.
we add a bit of buffer in there just to allow for any delays, because sometimes they do get delayed.
And do you find, I know you said that you sell predominantly private label in most kind of niches. Do you tend to stick to, are they smaller products, bigger products?
We do a lot of small and light products. So they go on the Amazon Small and Light program. But then we do a lot of bigger, like medium. I'd say no really big products at the minute. A lot of medium-sized parcels as well. So £2 to £3 shipping fees with Amazon.
I love how you say at the minute on everything you say. It's like you've got in your head, we're gonna dominate in every single area that we're gonna do this. It's like you've got this big master plan in place.
I'm gonna try, yeah. Yeah. We're constantly. I've got a list of new products that we're gonna make. It's just a case of getting the cash flow right, where it fits in at the right times.
Absolutely. And do you mind me asking, with regards to your private label, we'll come on and talk about Europe in a moment for those that are watching. Do you mind me asking, on the private label side of things, what sort of margin that you would expect for a private label product? Will you not touch anything unless it's, a net margin of like 100% or something like that? Have you got a special, like a third?
It depends on the sales velocity. So if we're bringing it in at £3, I want it to be selling at 11 or £12. We've got other products we bring in at £1. They sell at £9. So you have to factor in all the like Amazon FBA fees and things. But yeah, generally we'll be going for 3 or 4 times.
And do you use paid advertising as well for your products?
PPC, yeah, definitely, yeah. And then we try it on a basic setting, so Amazon. So we let them run it, and then we'll check it, and then we'll remove the negative keywords just to reduce the advertising costs. And then we might do individual campaigns on just certain keywords. Just their A costs and the private labels around 10%, which is quite good. Bad. It allows us to keep our listings just right on the top of the search. So,
definitely. Have you gone down the brand registry route?
Yeah, that as well. So we had a lot of problems with people hijacking our listings. So again, that was me having a conversation with a company down the road that was already doing okay. And he said, "Oh, brand registry, have you tried that?" And I said, "What's that?" He said, "I'll get a trademark, get brand registered, and kick them off." So and it worked. Yeah, for the sake of the cost of the trademark, it was really worth.
Yeah, it's peanuts, isn't it? It's what, £175, something like that.
It was around that. Yeah.
So £175, and because we're just going through brand registry yourself actually for the first time. Because I think even if we do the grey level kind of private label, and when I say grey level, I don't mean grey as in black hat. I mean it's like some people wouldn't call it private label because it's not sourced from China. It's we source predominantly from UK wholesalers and things like that.
Bundles.
But bundles, unique bundles, that type of thing. So sometimes we do individual products where we can put our own branding on it, but we've never gone down the brand registry route, but it's something that, you know, we have to consider, and we have to do now, because I think if you're doing any type of even low level private label or anything like that, for what it costs and the amount of protection it offers, it's definitely worth it for your business.
I think one of the best things on brand registry, you can go in and look at your competitors' products and find the search terms for what
Yeah.
they're selling, which is great. So you want to bring out a new product, look at what your competitors are selling and look at the search terms. So you can include all of that in your listing before you even start. It's just going to give you a head start.
Wow. And then you can also advertise on your competitors' listings as well, can't you, with brand
Yeah,
registry?
yeah. So you can advertise on the back of their listing. So
Yeah.
if they've got a brand new product out, you can go straight on it, because people are going to look at it and go, that's got 1 star. You're advertising right next to them with 100. There's a good chance you're just going to nick the sales straight off of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really smart way to do it. Okay, let's answer a few questions. So let's know any questions as we go along. So yeah, Jody says, just backing up what you said, that your profit margins determine what you order and turnover time as well. And yeah, need to protect your work 100%. So my husband's got a question for you, which is, do you
Yeah.
have a freight forwarder you can recommend?
We're currently using UniExpress as a freight forwarder, but I've just had a new member of staff who's come in and said he's found someone cheaper. So I'm
Oh,
going to give it a go, try a new one on the next container that comes in. So,
cool.
but UniExpress used them for the last probably 6, 7 years, and yeah, they've always brought it in most of the time on time and delivered straight to the door. It just takes the hassle out of it. If you've got someone that's reliable, you can just go to them. There's the invoice, there's the packing list, and then they'll organise the rest straight to your door. And then all you do is pay over the shipping charges and the VAT when it comes in.
Brilliant. That's good to know. Is it worth, if you've had good service from the other guys, is it worth going to them and saying, look, I found someone cheaper? Do you think they'd price match it, or?
I think, well, we can give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always worth a try. You don't ask, you don't get. Absolutely. So Corin says, sounds really exciting, Matt, the level you're at. Absolutely. I mean, do you love what you do, Matt? It really does seem like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
Just
seem
great.
like you just
You come
really,
up with a new product, launch it, and then it just sells.
yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Do you consider yourself to be a creative person?
No, not really.
No. It's funny because I don't consider myself to be a private person. Don't know where that came from. A creative person, but yet that whole process of going through designing something, creating something, I don't think you need to be absolutely creative. But I think you need more of. I don't know. This is just my opinion, obviously, but I don't know if it's about being creative. I think it's about recognizing what's in it for the customer and what the customer wants.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get one of the things we've done. Some of the private label products we've made. We've bought existing products from UK wholesalers, and then I've just made it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been buying it. We're like, this sells really well, and we've looked at the feedback that customers have left for the product, then gone to the manufacturers and said, make us this, make it better, change this. That's worked really well as well.
Wow, that is a massive tip there for anyone that's thinking of going down the kind of private label route. So you kind of tested the water first.
Bought it wholesale. You can see that it sells in good volume, and then make your own version. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just, obviously we're not talking about, you try to copy Nike trainers or something like
No,
that. It's something that
no,
not
less.
patented.
Yeah, less. Less
Yeah.
a brand than like. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And do you sell, when you sell private label, your products, they're kind of customer driven. So the customer, they do or they don't have branded competitors essentially.
I suppose there are branded competitors on there, but if their price point is right and the quality is just as good, then it's easy to get the sales. Because
Yeah.
although people like brand, they like price just as much. Mm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's very true. So if you can get them in the pocket, but it still represents the quality and I suppose the kudos of the brand, then they're quite happy to do it. I suppose
Yeah,
it's a lesson in maybe people aren't as brand driven as sometimes we think they are.
but again, there's the price, but making the listing as good as it can be. The
Yeah.
best listing, the best photos, the best descriptions. The copy in there will sell the product. It's the only thing you can do online. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, until Amazon come up with something else, I'm sure they'll be the first ones to come up with some sort of virtual reality. You
Yeah,
can,
3D thing that you can.
yeah, you'll be walking in a virtual reality store. I'm sure that absolutely is on Jeff's list in the next 10 years. You know, beforehand, I would have said maybe it's 20 years away, but I don't think it is. You know, I think the way it's going. I put a post in Secret Wealth Project a few weeks ago about John Lewis, and I was looking in their Christmas department. I think you might have commented on that, actually, Matt. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But but actually, it might have been another Matt. There's so many. There's just so many Matts and Matthews. But it really surprised me the level of the quality of at what this kind of virtual reality or visual offerings that these kind of department stores or this John Lewis had in particular. And I thought, wow, that's really going to develop over the next few years, definitely.
Some of the wholesalers have started doing 3D
Oh,
walk arounds during lockdown. I've seen some of them doing that.
oh, really? So they'll walk around with like a camera phone or something like that and show you what's what?
No, it's like Google Earth. It's like Google Earth, but in their showroom. So you just look around and see what's on the shelf.
Oh, right. Okay, that's cool. That's a really good idea. So, they would all kill me. By the way, your wife just made a lovely comment about you, saying how you're very creative and very clever, but you don't give yourself any credit. So, we're going to give you some credit here tonight, Matt. Definitely. Matt said it's the best name, most definitely. Um, oh, look, and it's my Matt asking all the questions tonight. Any tips for not getting ripped off by a Chinese supplier?
I haven't been ripped off by a Chinese supplier. I've been ripped off by an Indian supplier badly. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. Go to trade shows. Go try and find companies that are in like associations that are a big recognized. Just don't do your homework. Like look up the company. If they've got a long trading history, a lot of people use Alibaba. Look on there and use the trade assurance. Yeah, we got caught out a couple of years ago with an Indian supplier. We've been using them for 5 years, and then they took us for a lot of money. We were
wow.
ready to pay, and they made out that someone had tried to hack their email account, and the money was paid into a different bank. So we lost a considerable amount of money a couple of years ago.
Wow. And okay, so I mean that's awful. How do you recover from that? How did you pick yourself up, dust yourself off and say, you know, because a lot of people that would be the end for a lot of people. They think, right, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, you could do that. So I think it's resilience. You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
So, that summer, it was a big hit really because seasonal products. We're waiting for these seasonal products to come in. Then I find out they're not going to come. So I found some new products from a UK manufacturer and got some products made in the UK, and that got us through the summer. Really, like it was one of their best sellers ever. And we sourced that from the UK private again, UK private label made from UK manufacturers at that time.
Wow, absolutely. Again, another misconception that a lot of people don't realize that absolutely private label can be made from suppliers in this country, and you don't necessarily have to look to China. What I would always say to people is, you know, exactly what Matt said here. There's no reason why you can't try it first, even if, would you say, Matt, even if you almost don't make a profit here, to try and see if a product works and to check what velocity it's selling at and to see whether it works, then go in and getting it made somewhere cheaper.
Yeah, yeah, totally try it because there'd be nothing worse than spending 5 or 10 grand on a product and then it's a bummer and it's not going to sell. So you can try a small order quantity from China as well, but I don't know. I've the same product that I get made in the UK. I've gone to China and they can't make it any cheaper. So and I've only got like probably 3 or 4 week lead time in the UK, whereas it's 5 or 6 months for China for the quantities that we want. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Matt. It's really appreciated. We talked a lot longer about private label than I thought, but I think everyone seemed, really interesting, because Secret Wealth Project predominantly is an arbitrage / wholesale group as opposed to private label. But I promise you guys, we're definitely going to be talking more and more about these kind of subjects. In the rest of 2020, moving on to 2021, I want to bring as many people in from different perspectives, and Matt's kindly agreed to share his journey and on all of his knowledge and things like that with us. So thank you for doing that. Evening, Luca. Jamie says, any advice on where to find a supplier in the UK for private label?
it's really going to depend on your niche and the product. So if you know what kind of product you want to make, it could just be a case of Googling a UK manufacturer in that niche. I think that's all I did for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes what you can do is we had a UK based private label product, and it was one that was being sold to other retailers. And we just went to them and asked them if they would private label it for us. And they said yes. So, could we put our own label on it? And they said yes. So it's always worth checking, I think. You're not going to be able to go to Heinz and do that. They're not going to do that for you, obviously. But if it's kind of an Amazon brand, if it's brand, they've kind of got their own website, maybe if they're in a few other, kind of shops or something like that, you'll be surprised if you open up a dialogue with people, what people are willing to do. They don't want to jeopardize their own brand. So they might turn around to you and they might say, do you know what? We don't want you selling this particular product on Amazon, but we're quite happy to white label the product for you and you can sell your own brand. That's something is always worth asking the question.
Yeah. I think the guys that make their stuff in the UK, they've already got their own brand as well. Like they're manufacturers, they have their own brand, but they make for other companies as well. So
yeah, I think it's just you don't ask, you don't get. It's always worth asking. As long as you're all right with a no, that's fine. As long as and you probably, in all honesty, you probably are going to get more no's than yes. So I think you just have to be a bit resilient, like Matt said. Just keep asking the question, and eventually someone will say yes. It's the law. It's the law of averages. Someone's going to say yes eventually. Matt says that he found British manufacturers a lot harder to work with than the Chinese.
I've only got one, so
I think the Chinese are obviously a very accommodating. Absolutely. Whereas probably manufacturers from the UK, if they don't feel they need you, maybe they might not.
Certainly, initially, like relationship with that manufacturer, initially they were, oh, we don't supply retail, and I'm like, I want to order wholesale.
Yeah.
Did a bit of bartering, and now he said, oh, you're their biggest supplier in the UK now, bigger than all the main brands. But it took a bit of time to build on that relationship with them, and then tell them exactly what we wanted. But then once they see you're a good customer, they want your business. But initially, a lot of companies might be dubious about just someone knocking on the door saying, "Can you make this for us?" Building those relationships up with the suppliers, and then you can get exactly what you want from them.
Yeah, it comes down to it every single time, guys. Every time we have a special guest on, every time someone talks about wholesale, every time they talk about working with manufacturers, every time Matt talks about it, every time Matthew talks about it, every time Luke talks about it, a lot of the time it just comes down to building relationships with people, putting yourself out there, making sure that you are in that position at the right time when the opportunity arises. It's, you know, it's not about luck. It's about you've put yourself in that position at the right time to become the largest, you know, retailer or supplier in the UK for them.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Right. Let's talk about Europe. That's why we were here. So, um, selling in the UK, obviously. What is your percentage of selling in Europe? Do you know what that is on the top of your head?
During the winter months with
Yeah.
RA and seasonal stuff, probably 50-50 to the
Wow.
UK. So it's a big in Q4 we're probably 60% Europe, 40% UK. It's a
Wow.
big part of their sales during the Q4 period.
So there is no way that you are giving up your European sales, I take it.
Way, no.
Yeah.
Good margins as well.
And I suspect, as I said at the start of this, they're only going to get better with the amount of sellers that are pulling out. So
Yeah.
talk about, if you wouldn't mind, obviously you went pan-European. So you're yeah, so just for anyone that's watching that may not know the difference, Matt has gone through the process of VAT registration in all of the European countries or just some of them?
In all of them. And we've just had another email through for Austria. We've got to register there as well now because we've reached the distance selling limits in Austria as well.
Right, okay. So you're going to have to go through and VAT register there, which you're going to do?
Yeah, we do that through the company that we get a Pan FBA done through is a Vask. And that was set up initially. Amazon came to us and said, do you want to do Pan FBA? We'll pay your accountancy fees for the first 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we did. It took a while to get set up. Most of the countries are okay. We had a bit of trouble with Spain. You had to get a notaire to sign a document and witness things. So, but now it's set up, it runs really well.
Okay, so you went through the process. How long did the process take?
Meant to take meant to be 3 or 4 months. It was more like 6 months, 6 or 7 months altogether. But most of that was the delays with Spain.
Okay, so did you have to wait for them all to be on board before you could start selling in one? So did Spain delay the party, or as soon as you were registered in Germany, you could start selling in Germany?
As soon as we were registered, we were selling. As soon as I registered for Pan FBA, I just turned Pan FBA on. And then I thought if there's any backdated VAT or anything like that to pay, I'll just ask for forgiveness and pay it late. Because it was such a big difference on our selling fees. Like EFN, the difference between the EFN and the Pan FBA fees are massive. We had some products selling in Germany that it was on the EFN it was like €11 shipping fees, and on Pan FBA it was €5. So it's a massive difference.
Wow! So not only 50% different in shipping fees. Now that 50%, that's
Profit.
most people are happy with profit.
Yeah, a lot more profit.
Mad. That's absolutely mad.
Certainly on the larger items, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, you know, it's about 50%, it could be about 50% difference between the fees between the two. I knew that there was a difference. I suspected in my mind that it would probably be about a third.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was that big. Well, that's that's definitely worth thinking about. So, obviously, just to manage people's expectations. Now, I take it there's no reason why anyone still can't go ahead and pan-European register at the moment. But obviously, just to let you guys know that Matt said it took about 6 months. So this isn't something you're going to be able to do tomorrow and be up and running for Q4, I wouldn't have thought.
We did about this period last year. We had a delay in getting a VAT certificate for Germany, so we got shut down for a month right at the beginning of Q4. So whole of October. I think it was this time last year when they brought out the certificate was required. It was around this time.
Yeah, it might have been a bit earlier actually. It might have been summer last year because this year has felt like the 12 months have felt like 6 months. So I think it was before that actually. I think it might have been summer last year where they.
I know in the autumn we had a whole month with no sales on Germany at all. But then we got the certificate through and we were back selling again straight away.
That's crazy. So this is something I would absolutely, say to anyone. Don't try and go through the process now. And, I don't want to be Debbie Downer and a party pooper or anything like that, but concentrate on the Q4 that most people are going to have, because, I don't know if you agree, Matt, if you are going to try and go through the process now, then might throw a few
We're still not sure what's going to happen in the next couple of months with Brexit. So if we're lucky, they end up getting a trade deal, and then hopefully all this can get reversed and we can carry on as we were. But we're just going to have to wait and see.
Well, that's the other important point as well. And we were talking about this earlier. So we'll talk about the process in a second, just to let everyone know the differences between what was the EFM program, or what will be the soon RIP EFM program, and the difference between that and Pan-European, and how you work on that. But we were talking about this area. This is going to be a massive loss for Amazon. I think we were both agreed on that. And I suspect at some point, depending on what happens with the trade deal, so this isn't going to happen this year, guys, as far as I'm concerned, unless Jeff knows something we don't, or until at least it is confirmed by the UK government whether we're no dealing, whether there's going to be a deal or something like that whatsoever. I am as sure as I could ever be about anything that Amazon do not or will not want to be losing these sales. So therefore, they're going to want to encourage as many sellers to register Pan-European. There used to be a special offer. They paid the first year accountancy fees for you, because you have to VAT register in every country, obviously. So I suspect at some point, once it's actually confirmed what's happening, I reckon Amazon's definitely going to put out an offer.
I think they have to, because they close the door on all these sellers that were there. So they want to keep that revenue stream coming.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, excuse me. So let's talk through very quickly then, because we're approaching the hour. Everyone knows how, absolutely, Ruth, Amazon want world domination, 100%. They do. That's why I posted that picture the other day in the Facebook group about the fact that this has really mucked up Jeff's plan of world domination. He must be hating on the UK government at the moment. But with regards to FBM, too many acronyms, with regards to EFN, obviously the goods are shipped from a UK centre, sent direct to the customer, or fulfillment centre, then direct to the customer, whatever. If they return it, it comes back. So tell us how it differentiates between EFN. So what do you do as it stands at the moment for Pan-European? What's the difference?
So currently we send cartons or pallets up to, probably go to Coventry. A lot of our fulfillment shipments go to Coventry.
Right.
And then from there, Amazon will send the products on and split around Europe. So normally when a shipment comes in, we can then see where it's going. It normally gets split out to France, Poland. People don't realise most of the German fulfillment is fulfilled from Poland. Most German shipments, a lot of the stock goes in there. Cheaper warehousing, cheaper wages for Amazon, and then it's all shipped out from there. They literally just spread their stock around Europe. It's quite interesting. So last week we were asked for some VAT invoices. You can see we've got a UK seller. His product's been shipped from Germany. Someone else had a product bought in France, shipped from Spain. So you just don't know where the product's going to get shipped from. And with the Pan FBA, you pay the VAT where the product has been shipped from, not where it's sold.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So is that better as a seller for you? Are the VAT rates lower in Poland than they are in Germany? I would imagine so.
Germany, the VAT rate is lower than Poland.
Oh, right. Okay, that's weird.
But you can request that the VAT is charged from the destination, not from the shipping country. I haven't sorted that bit out with the basket, but it still doesn't seem too bad. But yeah, each country got a totally different VAT rate.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I knew that they had different VAT rates, but that's interesting. I assumed that you would just be charged the VAT rate of the destination country, not where.
That's what I thought when we got our first bill through from Avast for France. I was like, this can't be right. I was like, there's a sales for France. How have you only been charged €200 on like X amount of thousands of sales?
Yeah.
Uh, they explained it to me properly. I said it's based on where the product's been shipped from, not from where it's sold from. So
And I suppose when you've said that out loud, and then when it's going through my head, it does actually make sense, because that's where that's the whole thing. The difference between EFN, pan-European VAT registration, what countries you need to VAT register into, it's where that stock's being held.
yeah, that's why it's Poland, Czechoslovakia,
Yeah.
both of those two that they're doing a lot of the Eastern European sales. So you've got Austria, and all the countries around there. That's where most of it's being distributed from.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Thanks for clarifying that, Matt. So just going back then, obviously, because the difference is, like, with EFN, obviously, I would just put my stock in and, list in all the different countries, and then it would just get pick and packed out from those countries. But say, for instance, you list 100 products, 1,000 products through through the pan-European
Yeah.
process. What will happen is you don't decide, do you, where that stock goes? Amazon decides for you.
Amazon decides where it's going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be their algorithms will show that that product's selling better in Spain, so they're going to ship a percentage of your stock straight to Spain, so they can get it to the customer quicker. We're holding the stock over there.
God, we just, there is just so much going on under the hood of the Amazon machine, isn't there?
All this is going on, you don't even realise.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, effectively the same as, what other sellers are doing as well. But obviously, this is expanding into different markets. Now, obviously, in each European country, you have to pay accountancy fees. I understand them to be there about £400 per year in every country. Is that about right?
We're currently paying 454 per month for all of them. So
For all of them, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Not 454 per country.
No, that's per month. So
Yeah, but with 50% saving on those fees, higher margins.
Yeah, that covers the accountancy fees.
Yeah, and we haven't even spoken about the weak pound, because obviously transferring that money back as well, that's even more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, damn. I am like kicking myself. I am kicking myself right now. But I mean, it's something obviously that you had to do at the time. And like I said, when we did this, by the way, guys, like I said, when I asked Matt to come on, because there's a bit of a waiting list to come on, never mind the buy box now, we're booked up for the next 12 weeks of people coming on. So yeah, it's a bit of a wait list. And when we first booked this, it was to try and help people to maybe not encourage people to do it. We'd never encourage people, but to highlight that obviously this was going to kind of be the only way moving forward. So hopefully you guys don't think we're rubbing any salt in any wounds or anything like that whatsoever. This will still be an opportunity for sellers. It's just not going to happen this Q4, unfortunately. Believe me when I say Amazon is not going to give this up. It's going to be an opportunity for people moving forward, 100%.
I'm sure, yeah, after the Brexit settled, I'm sure they'll do another promotion to get sellers back over there again.
Yeah, because someone put, Sean said it's 5,400 per annum. So the first year Amazon paid that for you, didn't they?
Yeah, they paid that entirely, yeah.
So if you can get that and have the cheaper fees and because the pound, in my mind, I'm not a financier or anything like that whatsoever, but I'd imagine the pound's going to stay relatively weak, probably in 2021, something like that. So there's going to be good opportunity from that point of view. So what's your plan then, Matt? Obviously now you're not going to be able. So that's how it did work.
That's how it did work. Now we're going to have to start shipping directly into European fulfillment centres. We've already done it. We've done it before. not by choice, but had a private label product banned by Amazon UK.
Yeah,
So
you said
it's still okay to sell in Europe, but just it doesn't sell as quick. But so we've already done it. Pallet wise, I think it was about £150 to send a pallet into Germany, whereas UK £65. So it's a big jump. But we just have to put our prices up and
yeah.
cost up.
But I'd imagine a pallet for 150 quid. I mean, you must have thousands of units. So if you break it down by unit, it will be.
Yeah, it's still not bad. No, it's still
Yeah.
pretty good.
And with like I said, I think naturally those margins are going to come up, and you know, they're going to cover that cost anyway, because there's going to be less competition, demand will remain the same, and you know, prices go up.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only tricky bit was managing the returns.
Yes. Walk us through what you're going to do there.
The plan is I've got a friend that lives in Spain.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, right, can I get the returns sent to your place? And then if they're rubbish, we just bin them. If they're good, just hold them for a while. We put a box together and send stuff back if it's worth any value. So I've got someone else I know in France. I'm going to try and do a similar thing there. Get my French returns there and the Spanish ones there. That's my plan. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah. Well,
we consistently get Germany. I say out of all the countries, Germany is quite high returns compared to most countries. Some stuff comes back. We can't even see why it's been returned. It's still in perfect condition, but German fulfillment centres have still sent it back to us as a perfect product. So that's just something to consider in Europe as well. Like Germany do get higher return rates than England, but Germany is the second biggest marketplace for us. Really good sales there.
So there's not going to be any chance to resell that stock at this stage. It's just purely going to be it gets returned and
do I take a holiday to Spain and pick it up somewhere? I don't know. But
yeah. Well, presumably whoever you send it to, you could just wait for enough returns to come back and then just resend them back in. That person,
I could get them to send it in.
Friend, obviously. Just resend them back in for you. Right. So anyone that's watching, the first person that comes up with the European return center for Amazon is have a really good opportunity here. There's always opportunity. And I do see this as a massive opportunity for the sellers that are already pan-European registered. And like I said, I just know that Amazon is not going to let it go. So have you picked your pallet people that you're going to use moving forward, or?
I haven't selected them yet. No.
And you're just going to just have a look around, speak to a few people?
Have a look around and say the pallet wise, I think we used last time, but we'll have a look around. I'm sure Amazon do. You can send pallets directly into Amazon now, like similar to UPS. You can get pallet collections through UPS now. So they I think we've used UPS pallets via Amazon, but they're not always the cheapest. No. And they don't always turn up when they say they're going to turn up. So
yeah, I think a lot of sellers have been have been realizing that with UPS. You know what? We've never had a problem with UPS. We've always had really really good drivers, to be perfectly honest.
I've got a good relationship with the UPS centre. They're in the same town as us. I can phone them up at lunchtime and they come and bring a van around in the afternoon and collect boxes for us. This is UPS pallet collections. They don't actually do it themselves. They use local hauliers to collect the pallets. So I don't know. Last time it was meant to come on one day, 2 days later they turned up. But Amazon are not always the cheapest. Depends on the weight of the pallet. So if it's heavy pallets, you're better off going out external with Amazon to get a better rate on the pallets.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, but it's just trial and error, really. Presumably, it's just working out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Cheapest is not always the best, of course, in everything. Sometimes it's worth paying that extra to be able to get guaranteed service or know that you're getting that reliable service, obviously. Right, let's have a look at the questions. Thanks for going into so much detail, Matt. Really appreciate it. Philip says, can we not come up with a returns holding company for multiple sellers across Europe? Easy Return. I think that's a play on word and easy prep. easyreturn.de.fr. Do you know what? There is a big opportunity. I wasn't joking when I said this, for someone to come up with this style of business, because as a community, we are large in numbers. We are, there's lots of us. It's surprising we don't do more kind of collaborative efforts between lots of different sellers, because this is going to be something that's going to affect everyone. It's not just a select amount of new sellers or whatever. This is a problem going to be for everyone. So yeah, we can. Someone comes up with it, let me know, and we can talk about it. So there's been lots of chat going on. So I'm going to try and pick out I think Jodie's been answering a lot of questions as we're going on. Thank you, Jodie. Cindy says she has a house in Germany, wink, wink. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. Sean said, what was your first Euro market?
Germany. What, the best selling one or the first one we entered into? But
same answer.
we added them all at the same time, but Germany's second biggest market by miles. Yeah.
What can I ask do you know the difference in the percentage between Germany and I assume France is second?
Yeah. France is close second.
Yeah.
Italy, and then Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's like the breakdown is that? Is it like 50% Germany and then the 50% spread out, or is it like higher?
It's probably 50% Germany, 25% France, and then probably 12.5% to Italy and Spain. Italy and Spain are quite close. Depends on the product. Like, you can get some product. I always thought Spain was rubbish. I thought it was really bad, but you just got to find what people want in that marketplace.
Yeah.
There are products that sell really well in those countries. You just got to find them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you think about it, obviously, I've always said that when it comes to selling on Germany is, in retail terms, I think the closest to us in our buying behaviors, in what we buy, the quality of products that we like. So that's why I think we mirror markets quite well with Germany. Whereas if you think about it with the Spanish market, it's, well, obviously going back, we've got similar weather, we've got similar, everything with Germany, quite similar type of country. Whereas Spain, obviously, your stuff that's not going to sell, they're not going to be looking for like woolly hats and gloves in Spain. You've got to be specific to that market.
Yeah.
Sean says he can drive to Republic of Ireland. I think Sean's based in Northern Ireland, if I remember rightly. So Sean says, I think you might have missed this. I think we did answer this earlier. Do you get some of your PL from China? I think you get most of it, or do you?
Yeah, we do get private label from China. Generally, we ship by sea. If we've got a small quantity, we fly it over. But most of the time, it's done by sea. Just purely costs, shipping costs are much cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
With the volumes that we do, it's normally like several. It's either a part container load or a full container load, so it's much more economical to do it by sea.
Yeah. Peter says, "Same good-looking Prime Minister." We try not to go too political here, obviously. I'm just trying to pick out if there's any other questions. Like I said, Jodie's been answering them all. Thank you, Jodie, for for helping out. Let's just have a quick look. Tracy said, or Kathy said, if you were just starting as a new seller with a few sales and reviews, but you had products that are ideal for gifts, what would you do to get the sales moving quickly?
I use Facebook and promote the products through Facebook with Facebook advertising, because you can be so targeted to your audience. If you know your audience, you can just put those specific parameters into your advertising, and just advertise to the people that you think are going to buy your product, just to help push it even more in the first place.
Oh, no, Jodie. No, I meant that as thanks very much for answering the questions. I didn't mean thanks very much. I didn't mean that. I meant thank you very much. In a nice way, obviously. No, it's good. Sean said, how long does it take by sea? But I think you answered that was 5 weeks, but it can
5
take
to 6 weeks, but yeah, it can take up to 8. If it gets bad weather, there can be delay with that. Then if it gets stuck at customs, our last shipment that came in, it wasn't a full container load, it was probably like 3 pallets, but that got stuck at the docks for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Waiting for it to be unloaded. It doesn't normally take that long. It's normally a few days, but yeah, we had a couple of weeks delay last time.
But obviously it's the process before that as well, because I've always heard that 8 to 12 weeks, but then it's 8 to 12 weeks before that as well. Product development, ordering, samples, testing, manufacture. You could be looking at 6 months in reality, couldn't you? For
a lot of our private label now. We're always looking 6 to 9 months ahead. When's the next one? Yeah, so 6 to 9 months really.
So if anyone's thinking they'll be able to get anything over to sell Christmas-wise in Q4, unfortunately not. But you should, in reality, be thinking about for this time next year, because obviously Christmas sales do start October, possibly September onwards anyway. So in reality, you could be looking at February, March before, to be thinking about products.
We're now looking to place their orders ready for stock to arrive spring into summer. Yeah, you always got to be looking, planning ahead.
Yeah. I think I'd kind of forgotten that. And we were talking about this beforehand, because one of the areas of your business that's growing that you want to develop even more is your business to business business. Yeah. So your own wholesale side of things, because you already supply a few shops as it is, you said, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I think in reality, because being an ex-distributor myself, and I've forgotten this, I've been out of it for a long time. But when you work with buyers, when you work with people that want to buy your stock, it's very rare someone will come to you and say, I want it now. They're 6 to 9 months ahead. They work in seasons. They work spring to summer and autumn to winter. So in reality, they're always 6 to 9 months behind or ahead. Ahead. Yeah, ahead. They're already thinking about, by the time we're thinking about the Sainsbury's Christmas sale, which is in 2 weeks' time, they're already thinking about
Easter, yeah,
they're thinking about Easter, they're thinking about swimming pools, they're thinking about everything else. And that's a bit of a mindset shift that you have to take if you start moving more into the manufacturer side of things.
So yeah, now we've got ordered now stock to come back in that most of it's seasonal, but we're going to be stuck with a lot of it just so we're ready for spring. And then we have another order going in very soon to cover a restock in the summer so we don't run out like last year.
Absolutely. Jodie says that ship is set. I'm having Jodie on next time as well. Jodie, if Matt is kind enough to agree to come on again, will you join us as well? That would be amazing to have both of your perspective as well. So, God, I keep dropping my phone. Sorry, guys. Right, any other questions, let us know. But we've gone over now. I want to be really respectful of Matt's time, obviously, because you're still at work, away from your family and everything like that as well. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, Matt. Like I said, we had to change tactics a little bit because of obviously the Amazon announcement. But I mean, I've just got absolute, no doubt whatsoever that your business is just going to go from strength to strength to strength to, with everything that you've put in place and the chances that you take and your success is absolutely so well deserved. So, congratulations to you and Jodie. I think it's amazing.
Thanks for inviting me on. Yeah.
Hey, did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's the first time you've done anything like this, but you wouldn't have absolutely known it. That's why I tell people afterwards. I think Jodie said 100% he won't like it, but I'll have an amazing time. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, just be respectful of Matt. He is on the Secret Wealth Project. I'm sure you won't mind the odd tag and question here and there, but please just be. I got to stop saying this. It sounds really dodgy. I would say, please be respectful of their inbox It sounds really dodgy, but I mean, you know, with the messages and things like that whatsoever. So, you know, just be respectful, because Matt's obviously kindly agreed to come on here tonight. But I promise you, guys, we're going to be expanding this more. We're going to be looking more into this over the coming months and going into 2021, because we want to deliver as many opportunities to you guys as possible to expand out your businesses and hopefully grow as Matt has done over the last, you know, 5 years with his business. Any final things you want to say or anything like that before we go?
Never give up. Just don't ever give up. Yeah, that's the best thing. I say we've had a couple of times when, we've gone bust, we carried on. We got ripped off, we carried on. Like, you just have to carry on. Because even some of the big companies went bust before they made it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Just keep trying.
Just keep trying. I don't think there's more, you know, with respect and I don't think there's more simpler piece of advice than that, guys. Don't give up. Just keep going, and you never know where it might end up. So everybody seems to have loved it tonight. Thank you so much. Next week, I've got another special guest coming on. For those of you in the group, they'll probably see his name been floating around a little bit. We've got Hayden Davidson that's going to be joining us next week as well. So Hayden's actually not a new seller, but someone that's just really attacked this business and gone after it. So we're going to come on, talk about his journey, what his hopes are, and what his goals are for the future, because I think he's going to be someone to watch. I think, you know, probably in a year or a couple of years' time, be talking about his 7 figures, I would imagine. So, he's going to be on next week, and then next week I'll obviously let you know who's going to be coming on beyond that. Matt, it's been an absolute pleasure. Really, really grateful. And everyone, take care. Have a good evening, and I'll see you next week. Night, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.